What's up, everybody? This is your girl Irving from the Classic Line blog. You know I want to say God bless America when I'm standing beside the American flag. And I just want you guys to thank you so much for all your well wishes on, I'm telling my birthdays, passings of my family, this channel, buildings, new construction, old construction, rentals. Listen, the best is yet to come. Thank you so much for the 10 years on this channel. And I just want to thank you for all the things that you guys have contributed to my life and that I contribute to yours. And so listen, I hope this year can be even better, and I hope you grab the book, All Roads Lead to Real Estate. We're talking about digital real estate, online to the real dirt in your hand, and we'll have lots of good commentary inside that book to help you navigate. How can you grow in this economy and also grow and play Monopoly in real life for you and your family? You guys, this doesn't have to be the worst time in our economy. It can be one of the best if you make a decision and move forward in your life. This is your girl, Erica. Thank you. What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Erica from the Classic Line blog. I'm going to move this off the screen. But again, if you have questions about land portal, land grab course, links there, top 40 certifications. Again, a lot of people have been going and getting what we'll call customer service related jobs, work from home jobs. After grabbing that ebook, I promise you, I'll show you the temporary hiring companies, and I'll show you some search to buff up your LinkedIn resume this summer, make it look nice and new and shiny. Okay. Bird flu stocks. Again, our boy David Williams, the retail trader, the gentleman, okay, with the tie. Who will be also visiting the show tomorrow. So be ready for that one. All those links are there before. You can check it out. What's up? Drop your city and state in the chat. Listen, hey, you guys, you see the title. You see, we got the American flag behind us. We got the red on. The Atlanta soccer team red. This is actually Atlanta soccer team shirt. Long story short, 75,000 is that poverty wage? How to get out of poverty? 900. Okay, foreclosures in Texas, and 300,000 evictions. Now, you know, people love the doom and the gloom. They just can't believe the times are good. Someone got to be out there struggling. And so we're going to address that in this show and keep it pushing. All right, let's do it. Let's kick the show off right here. Now, what happens when everything shifts, the economy shifts, people shift, stuff going on? All right, let's do this right here. Let me show you this. Now, there was somebody who his ex-wife or baby, really was never his wife, but his ex-girlfriend, baby mama, got a hold of his channel, basically destroyed his Facebook over a weekend. I mean, he had crazy numbers. Now, he said, y'all ain't seen me in almost a month because my Facebook took all my pages for no reason. That was not true. The reason was his baby mama kept posting atrocious, horrible things. She's like, y'all didn't know about me. I've been his woman for 10 years. He got arrested, showing arrest videos, all kind of stuff, right? So what did he do? He said, they stripped my funny man from me. So I became a handyman. I made a vow to myself, my kids, and my family. I'll never let social media app control our livelihood again. Now I'm in Houston building custom fireplaces, solar team, and generational wealth. Next stop, DFW. I want y'all to understand the power of social media, the power of blue collar. This man done built a big old house. This man done had comedy on the road shows. This man done been getting it, okay? The problem is when y'all don't have a true team, like I don't care if you get arrested tomorrow, who's on your team, making sure your baby mama don't take your social media and go crazy. But what y'all don't understand is in Texas, how hot the market is in Texas, how hot the market is in Florida, how hot the market is in Tennessee, Carolinas, and different parts of our country. I could come out here tomorrow with the course we always been talking about for the past 5 years, middleman to million style, okay? Run around, get some leads. Hey, oh, your fireplace, you need a new fireplace? Because a lot of people start building these modern homes, didn't put fireplaces in them. Just thought it's Texas is hot. Let's save some money. Let's save, you know, if you're building a home, no money basically. And so people are now asking for the fireplace, right? They're from up north. They're from California. They want the fireplace, right? I've been living in Texas long enough. I do a fire pit in the back. So here's this guy who's a comedian, who's a jokester doing this. Now, who's also another comedian who just got put through the ringer not that long ago? Gary Coleman. That's not his last name. Gary, the white dude. What's his name? Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. He also had bought a house with a friend. He went in half with a friend on a house in the hoods of Atlanta and realized his friend didn't have no money to do the project, to flip it. So he had to go work with some of these young boys he meet off social media to help finish this house. Gary Owen. That's right. So this is something that you're going to see a lot more of. You're going to see comedians. You're going to see Cat Williams. You're going to see all these different type of people who, before you know, all of a sudden they're going to be showing you all these projects they work on. Boom. Now he got this giant office of 300,000 people. How hard would it be for me to what? Switch on over, get you over here. Again, his audience is mostly women, people that are in Texas. Let me see if I can switch over to the page so you can see what it looked like. Here you go. I'm sure this tab instead. Again, your home reinvented, free on-site consultations, 5 to 10 day turnaround, financing available. Houston's custom renovations. Okay, come on now. Come on, in-house, no subcontractors. Why do people want to hear that? Because if you live in Texas, you already know. They don't promise you this great work. All of a sudden, Jose show up. He don't speak no English. He acting like he don't know you. They all using the same subcontractors, right? Assured, bonded, over 10 years experience. Quick 5 to 10 day turnaround. Now, if I have somebody on my team that's been working for 5 to 10 years, guess what I can say? 5 to 10 years experience. It's just that simple. I can say I got 5 to 10 years experience. Okay. And that's what people do. 1 to 3 year warranty, quick 5 to 10 day turnaround. Financing available, based in Houston, Texas. Okay. Again, I'm just letting y'all know this is that season. Y'all really not ready for it. Right. You got a cousin or two, a few people, you know, they always need some work. You just got to be marketing yourself. And this is what he's doing. He's marketing to who? His audience. Right. It's going to get him those first couple hits. And then it also brings what? His SEO up for what? They're going to bring his SEO up because they're clicking on the site. They're typing the site in. They're seeing if he has reviews. They're going to Google. You're going to see a lot more of this. I just want to keep that. We're hiring. Okay. You're going to see a lot more of this. This is going to be very common. You're going to see a lot of famous people pop up. Again, all of a sudden, 33,000 followers. Y'all already know what time it is. Let's not be funny. Okay. He already out here. Okay. Real quick, fast, in a hurry. Social media help you get there too. Okay. Let me get out of here. Let me get over to the other one I wanted to show y'all. Because people, you know, people out here embarrassing themselves. Let me get over here. Oh, yeah. Let me show you this one. You know, we always show a little silly, then a little serious. So let me show you this tab. Now, this is an empty leg. Miami, Cayman Islands, June 8th, 9 passengers. That means there's 9 passenger seats still available. So really, it's probably one other guy on this plane. Okay, if it's a 10-seater. Your total to get the whole plane is $7,950. The entire aircraft, not per seat. Okay, so now let's say I got 9 people with me. And we all wanted to do this trip. Let's just say I got a family divided by 9. That's $883. I promise you that's probably cheaper than getting, she down here, getting first class tickets for 8 of my kids on a regular flight. This is the stuff y'all seeing online. This is the stuff when you see these families traveling. Oh, these families of 8, 9, 10, and they got 5 kids and they're traveling so nice. This is what it is. This is where this is coming from. Just so you know. And this is a black guy who has this Carter channel. You go on his page, you can go check out Carter King. Most of his stuff he's talking about is out of New Jersey. But you can go on here anytime and see all the stuff. Empty leg. Miami to Nassau. Come on, man. Stun on some girl from Miami. Bring her to the Nassau, okay? Atlanta. Miami to Cancun. Okay? Just bringing all the friends. Again, y'all know what's going down. All right, so that's how people are getting that stun on. That makes sense to all y'all? So let's get into it. You know what we're here to talk about. Okay. Now, I don't know if y'all saw the news today, but Memphis is about to go down. Are y'all ready? Get here.
America, everybody got a lot of murders in their city, dog. I know it's raw in Memphis, but it's a whole lot of cities got a lot of murders in their cities, dog. Now they finna send the feds into Memphis. I think Memphis is a, what do you call it? A prototype. They finna do something in the city that ain't never been done before that's gonna shock the world. They allow Memphis to get crazy as a motherfucker. so they can come in and show how we can clean this motherfucker up and how we are going to clean up America. And Memphis is gonna be the first city, the model city of what they finna do. Y'all better get out these streets with that bullshit, cuz. Y'all better get out the street with that bullshit, man. They finna send you away for a long time, man. To my little cousins and shit, y'all out here doing crazy shit. They send you away and shit. I know you hitting me up saying, cuz, man, I'm telling you now. On the back end, don't try to get me caught up in whatever you in. You hear me? Cuz, hit me up, man. No, nigga, you got the cooties. You off in there with them folks, man. You got the cooties to me, man. Well, it's official. It's official. I think it's a setup.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna let that roll again because he's doing the most. But let me explain why. If you haven't heard a couple shows ago, maybe several shows ago, maybe a few months ago, I said Memphis. Okay, Elon Musk done bought some stuff in Memphis. Some other billionaires have bought some stuff in Memphis. All of a sudden, there's a lot of news on Memphis. They're gonna put some infrastructure in Memphis. They're gonna put some other infrastructure in a rural part of Louisiana. They want you up out the way. Now they want the cheap labor. Don't get it twisted, but they really want you up out the way. Okay, so they're gonna come in and make an example out of Memphis. They're gonna, again, we've been talking about this for years. Everybody says Chicago's so corrupt. Chicago got all these murders. We've been told you it was New Orleans and Memphis. The data has been showing you it was New Orleans and Memphis. This isn't a new thing. It's been New Orleans and it's been Memphis. So they're gonna come in. They're gonna make an example out of Memphis. They did it with Detroit many moons ago when they locked everybody up for drugs. They gonna make an example eventually out of Atlanta and be like, look how clean and nice and safe Atlanta is. Okay. They're gonna eventually do it in what's that part I'm thinking of? Not New Orleans. What's that city? Oh man, I forgot the city. But long story short, they're gonna come make an example out of y'all. Because they're cleaning up these southeast areas, not for you. I keep telling you, they're not cleaning up for you. They're gonna move you out to the Badlands like they're doing people in Baltimore right now. You gonna be on the edges. They be like, you seen your cousin in them? No, because they don't live here no more. They don't live here no more. Okay. Now, Baton Rouge, yep. Now that 50 Cent done went out there and bought up all that land, they're gonna build a bunch of they're gonna make a bunch of horror movies, southern movies, and they're gonna get you about the way. They're gonna get you about the way. Now, I got one. It's silly. We're gonna do silly. But it makes a difference. Again, this is why people being embarrassing themselves and they don't even realize they're embarrassing themselves. But your boy RG3 out here embarrassing himself. And we've always seen people like this. They were like, look how beautiful this woman is. And she'd be just red bone and ugly. And you don't know why they saying this. Look how beautiful this girl is. And she'd just be ugly and not looking good. And you'd be like, this thing you like white women. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't you ain't gotta be out here doing the most. But here we go.
The read that Ryan Clark just gave RG3 for how he spoke about Angel Reese hating Caitlin Clark is a read that should be required watching. Let me show y'all.
RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back, amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady. I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot from Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the Black women that have come before her. And now she is carrying the mantle forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint them based on stereotypical tropes. And I think this is what I like RG3 to know, that no matter how much he continues to echo the microaggressions of racists, he'll be no less Black than me.
All right. So you're gonna be like, "Oh, Erica, where are you going with this?" And look, Will Memphis said that guy cheated on his wife. That's a sign, baby. and that is true. And that is true. But here's what I want. This is where I want to go with this. We have people who are still on level 1, surface level, in life, right? We all grew up. I mean, I'm from a military town, but a lot of y'all been other places where people wanted to be special. They wanted to be seen with an Asian, or seen like, look, I made it. I'm with the Asian lady. I'm with a white lady, whatever, right? We have people like that in our community. You literally have Donovan Sharp, who, again, I'm not throwing bars at him because he can say whatever he want about me, but again, he was like, yeah, those N-words, they're doing N-word stuff over there. And I laughed because I was like, brother, the people doing a whole documentary on you, like 12 videos deep, are the white people. I mean, these white boys basically show where he stole checks, where he robbed his own daddy in Florida recently. Like, this is not even years ago. This is like last year. Caught on the white girl. You know what I'm saying? The snow. And I don't mean the snow bunny. I mean the snow in the nose, right? And so that wasn't us doing that to him. That wasn't O'Shea Jackson doing that to him. That wasn't none of us doing that to him. That was them people. But you have people like this who are stuck on surface level and get excited to think, look, I've made it. Look at this girl. And we have people like you can tell who they are. You can talk to these kids and like you ask the kid, what's special about you? My hair and my eye color. And that's like, baby, you a whole nother person. You a whole person. Like, there's so much more to you than your daddy being Black and your mom being white. But I grew up with kids like that. You know, that they call themselves kimchi fried rice, kunta kinte fried rice, goofy stuff. Embarrassing, right? I know 2 half-Black Asians who moved overseas to Korea to feel closer to their Korean identity. And their mama been in America 40 years now, okay? And they got over there, and guess what? Korean people ain't messing with them like that, okay? Who are they both dating now that they over there? Half Korean kids. Because Korean culture don't play like that. They don't care that you moved over there to be nearer to them. Don't embarrass yourself. So this is the thing I saw this earlier, and one of y'all sent it to me again in the messages, and I was embarrassed for him. Okay, I was embarrassed for him because it does cheapen your children, your relationship. Like, I'm a person who had an ex that was white, you know, and an ex that was Asian. So like, I'm not one of those people like, look at my ex. Look at them, they're white. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Who are they as a person? Are they a bum? We see all the time online these people dating white bums. We see it every day. So this isn't nothing to be, you know, celebrating. This is embarrassing, really. But that's what RGE3 is on, being embarrassing himself. So let me go over here. Let me get back on financial track, because we could get lost over there in that conversation. So this is the real deal. Y'all can go check this out on your own time. I love breaking it down for New York. I love breaking it down for Texas. It's wild. It's wild, all the stuff you see going on. A lot of y'all are not ready, right? Because they had a stockyards project. Okay, they had $1 billion stockyards project in New York. Now, why were they doing $1 billion? Why are people bailing ship on it? Because people are like, yeah, let's get to New York. Let's do this and make it really cool, right? Exactly. Russell Wilson got healed. I don't know what RG3 on. Because they were going to do a casino down there, and they have voted against the casino. They have voted against the casino. This is why when y'all say, well, how do I know these things? Or where do I get the news from? Or where are you getting this information from? I go and read the actual articles, the research papers, like who and what company is chasing this money and being down there? Who's going to be down there? Who's investing in these areas? Why are they there? And when you see all of a sudden the casino didn't get approved, now it's probably going to be approved later, just not at this time. who's going to continue to build in the stockyards, right? Because if you think about it, what was the stockyards like a couple years ago? Again, and again, this is $1 billion Fort Worth stock words. Okay, sorry, I thought I pulled up the New York article one. Hold on, let me build it up. Dang. Hold on. Let me do the Texas one first then. Hold on. Sorry, you guys. I was going to do stock works. I was going to do the New York and then I was going to do the Texas. But here, let's start with the Texas. I apologize. So this is the Texas one I got on the screen. Sorry. I'm going to put the New York back up there. So this is the Texas one. Okay. They have a stockyards in Fort Worth. They're putting $1 billion down there. Now, people didn't want it at first, but they know what time it is. It just is that time. Dallas is full. So they're going to be out here. Okay. Let me get down here. They got right now 71 million. It's economic development is already going through. 630 million with a projected 843 million net value. All this is going to be done, completed by 2032. She also led to this woman who exited, also had a $35 million redesign of a Majestic Casino in Las Vegas. Okay, so it's important for her to be there. But why is she bouncing? Okay, now both areas, just to be honest, okay, they're seeking $76 million in unpaid loans and contract breaches. But both areas, why was she going to be in space? What are they trying to do with the Dallas Mavericks, y'all? What are they trying to do with the Dallas Mavericks, y'all? Anybody know? Anybody know what they're trying to do with the Dallas Mavericks? Anybody? Dallas Mavericks sold to casino billionaires in efforts to get a casino in Dallas. Now, it seems to be lagging a little bit. It's dragging. I don't know if it's going to happen. But if they can get it in Dallas, they're going to also get a casino where? They're going to get a casino where? In Fort Worth. People don't want to go to Dallas. They want to be in Fort Worth. The country folk will come to Fort Worth for the rodeo, the nonstop rodeos we put in Fort Worth, the nonstop events. TCU old money is over there in Fort Worth. SMU is new, flashy, smashy money. TCU's older Fort Worth money, right? Your parents can afford to put you over there, right? So that's your differences. Let me see if I can go back to New York. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm gonna get New York up there for y'all. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go back because I really had wanted to show y'all New York. Hate that. I'm gonna show you some other stuff in New York. Anyway, Daily Dirt City. This guy, they're replacing an eyesore office with 1,200 apartments. Rezoning would make way for a 1.5 million Southwest Tower. Okay, they want to replace this 50-year-old building with 1,200 apartments in New York. Come on, man. New York needs every apartment they can get. Right? So y'all can go check that out on your own. Because that's not the stockyard part I wanted. Hold on. Let me get down here. Here it is. Okay. All right. Daily Dirt. This is the New York casino part I was trying to get y'all to. Hold on. All right. So this is over here. This is where they dropped the casino from the Western Yards vision. I apologize. Stockyards is in Dallas, Texas. Western Yards is New York. But why is it important? Why am I bringing it up for both of these areas to have dropped the casino? You have the local people doing a pushback, right? They were going to do $2 billion Western Yards, okay? They were going to do some big stuff over here because what? The casino was coming. Now, I don't know if these people have been asking Donald Trump. I don't know if they've been begging him. I don't know if they've been, please. please, right? I don't know if they've been doing that, but it ain't working. Whatever it is, it ain't working, okay? Either build a mega casino in Texas or move the massive. It's gonna be in Texas. And the reason I'm gonna tell you Clarence Price is they do the math, the numbers on how many Texans drive to Oklahoma, Louisiana, and another state, and I'm talking about it's just billions of dollars going. Okay, it's real crazy. It's billions of dollars. Like it's not even. It's hard to explain it. If I get the reports, I'll put it back up. But let me see. Let me get the other one. Also, I want to show you this again before we get on to the other stuff. This guy sentenced to 7 years in the Crowd Street scandal fallout. Okay, he faces 20-year max after pleading guilty to wire fraud. Again, y'all, you won't hear about this, and I'm not trying to be funny, But a lot of people in our space, they don't like, let me be careful how I say this. There are minority men in our space. If another minority man is spending a lot of money in advertising, let's say another minority man is spending 20, 30, 40K, 100K a month in advertising, instead of another minority man spending his money to promote himself and his own business, guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna make negative videos on that guy. And we've seen that happen to him 500. We've seen that happen to every single major advertised spending person in our community. Just being honest, right? So instead of you deciding, hey, I'm gonna spend 20 grand, I'm gonna come on. What people do is they try to do the diss record move. They try to do the 50 Cent to John Rue move. They try to like, let me build up my name off your back move. It don't work, not long term. Eventually your people turn on you. And that's what people don't want to hear. Eventually your people turn on you. Eventually all the people you're trying to market and say, look, we should all get together and hate this guy. Right? That's a whole strategy. That's a whole technique. That's what they do. It ain't gonna work to put new money in your pocket. It's gonna work just to have hater money. And hater money ain't gonna go far. Why? Because the haters ain't spending no money. All right, so let me get out of there before y'all get mad with me. Let me go over here to, there's a gnat over here bothering me. Get out of here, gnat. Let me go over here. Yeah, but so what? I mean, I really want to be honest with you. Like, if you don't understand business, that's okay. But that's what we saw. Like, even if he said some things that were like, hey, don't say that. That's not a good look. You may not want to say that. Instead of them being like, hey, brother, that's not a good look. It was more of, let me tell you, let me just do 30 days in a row of bashing this person who's spending money online. Everybody knows what it is. It's a come up. It's like, how do I come up? By bashing somebody else. Again, like that's why I'm even talking about it, because I want to clarify, like, when I'm critiquing these videos, it's not me trying to come up off these people's names. I've been online longer than all of them, so that's not what it is. But I just want to make sure you understand, like, that's a technique. That's all they're doing. It's marketing. So let me go here. Let me start with this one, and we're gonna play a few minutes of this. It's wow. Let me go ahead and play it. Uh-oh, hold on.
Take the kids to Disney World at some point. You know, you're single, hey, maybe you go to Bali. I don't know, something like that. But say you get out of college, you're a young guy or girl, and you get a new job, right? It's the time to start being an adult. You get a nice job, 75K, they say. That could be good, right? That's a nice wage. Seems like a nice wage, but 75K today, hey, just poverty wage. Let's see.
The cost of living in this country is currently, it's not going to be, it is currently unsustainable. And there are people that they know this, but then they'll still look at somebody else that's struggling and then tell them they're not doing good enough. I want you to imagine somebody that makes $75,000 a year. That's a pretty high up wage in terms of like top earners in this country, $75,000 a year. And we're going to go through some things here. This is a person with no debt.
He's right, though. $75,000 a year does sound like a pretty good job. I think 5-10 years ago, especially 10 years ago, that would have been a pretty decent wage, 75. People would be pretty happy to get that. Not just people getting fresh out of college, but just working people in general would be pretty happy to have $75,000 a year. It's definitely going to pay your mortgage, going to pay your car, going to pay all those things. You'll be able to afford all the beer you want. It's pretty good. You can have a good life. You can still kind of do what you want to do. You know, it's not crazy. It's not great. You're not going to be rich, but it's a nice, solid salary.
Outside of a car, and please don't hit me with the, you can go buy a car for, shut up. You can't. Shut up. Stop saying ridiculous things. An entry-level decent car is $30,000.
Stop it. This is the madness. What they're saying is, I make money, Erica. I should be able to get a car. I should be able to get a new car, a new Honda, a new Toyota. No, you don't need a $30,000 Toyota, y'all. Stop it. You could literally go on Auto Trader today and get $12,000 to $15,000 cars from 2016 to 2020, depending on the Toyota, depending on the Honda. I've done it myself. I've literally was like, how much is this? 15K? Let's get it. Used, looks 2020. Knock it off. This is the excuse men are making so they can buy pickup trucks, chargers, and new vehicles. This is the excuse. And literally, my nephew just went to the auction, bought a $900 car, gonna turn around, sell it for $3,000. And if you ask, people be like, "Oh, you got lucky." No, the auction was full. It was full of cars. This is the male equivalent excuse of I have to have a new car. You don't, brother. No. Like this is why people can't get out of poverty because they won't acknowledge they're in poverty. Well, it's got to be this. I remember I told somebody one time I made big money. Big money. Right? Exactly. They don't want to hear that though. I told them how much money I made and I was like, I really want a Porsche. They're like, you should go buy it right now. And I was like, dude, like, yeah, I made it this year, but I need to make that money like 3-4 years in a row before I run out and go buy a Porsche. And they thought that was the craziest thing they ever heard. You know how I know it's not crazy? Because I had so many people selling their G-Wagons, selling their exotic cars after 2021. And I'm looking them dead in the face like, you should have never bought it. You should have bought a house. All the people I know who bought a house that we make fun of all these influencers that bought houses. There's a girl who bought a house in LA. She's up 400,000. There's a couple people who bought houses in Texas. They're up 200, 300,000 appreciation. And they bought it 2020, 2021. One dude bought last year and he's up 60,000. This is the thing when people sit here and try to convince you, you have to go in 30,000 in debt. Like why would I even show up to work if I gotta buy a used car? This is a male excuse. And yes, there are women. I've been on the phone with some of y'all, and it makes me sad that keep rolling over debt and getting in more car debt. This is how you have people who have 1,000, 1,500 in car payments. And this is why I don't feel sorry for people when they say, Erica, I don't know how to get out of poverty. Guess what? You're not going to like the answer. Suffer. Did I like the 1 or 2 years I had to work multiple jobs? No. Did I like the 1 or 2 years where I had to stick with Lowe's and be a manager at a property management place? And people like, man, what you working so hard? You got a lot of debt? No, I just recognize what poverty is. Do you know what I'm saying? I just recognize that I don't have that kind of money to just be like, yeah, whatever, we're going to do whatever. I bought a $9,000 car with an insurance check. We wrecked a truck, and guess what? They gave me an insurance check for $9,000, like almost $10,000. I went over to the dealership. I'm like, what can I get for this? And I remember y'all were clowning me in some of it. You got roll down windows. I'm like, man, I put $40 in gas in this thing. I drive all up and down the state of Texas. I got 2 other cars. It don't matter. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is where people are trying to convince you you're an idiot if you think you can't buy something for less than 30K. When just literally, you can go look over. And we can go on Auto Trader today and dig for 10 cars, right? I put an alert on Toyota 4Runners during the pandemic because I was like, what's going on with these Toyota 4Runners? They're getting crazy. They were 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. I said, no, I'm not paying more than 31,000 for a 4Runner. And even then, if I want to, AM1's got one, he paid way less for it. But I wanted the next generation model, even though they all look the same for the last 10 years. So I'm like, I put the alert on Auto Trader and I just let it rock. I'm not paying more than 31,000. And when they get down, I'll be around. Guess what? They're back now. Now you can get my attention. Now you can call me for a 4Runner. But before that, I was like, no. The Porsche I wanted, they were getting out of control. I said, I'm not paying that for a Porsche. I'm not paying it for a Porsche. No way. Give me a used Porsche, a year or 2 used. I'm cool with it. There's too many YouTubers I know out here who drive a Porsche for less than 6 months and turn around and try to get rid of it. So no, I'm good on that. Okay. If you make 70K, your car should be less than 10K. And this is what Americans don't want to hear. They want to hear, I'll make 75K a year. I'm allowed to have a pickup truck. I'm allowed to have a brand new Charger. I'm allowed to have a brand new whatever. No, you're not. And this is the reckoning that is coming. They literally do studies that people would have rather left their home in 2008 pandemic. That particular economic recession / depression, than keep their house. That's how serious people are. People rather drive around. I remember I told y'all this. I was visiting my aunt, and this is when my uncle was alive before he passed away. And he had a massive stroke. And the government gave us all this extra. I mean, like the military gives you 3 people's worth of medication, supplies, and everything. Stuff we didn't even need. We were just going to have given it away to the homeless shelters anyway. in the old folks home. And one of the ladies from church drove over in a brand new, not old, brand new Cadillac, and asked, like with a begging voice, my aunt, could she give her mother these diapers and all this extra supplies because she just can't afford it. And I literally went, after she went out the door, I told my aunt, I'm trying not to say my aunt's name. I was like, do you see that new car she has? She just needs supplies. She has a pretty new car. And my aunt was like, you know what? Some people don't know when to quit when they're ahead. Because she's one of those older Black ladies that's in her 50s and finally made it with her government job, and she deserves her Cadillac, regardless of the fact that her parents don't have any money. Her parents are needing medical supplies and diapers, and she can't afford diapers, but she can afford a Cadillac. She's coming to beg for free stuff. This bothered me so. It still bothers my family when I ask for. They're like, "Oh, just forgive people, just give grace." And I'm like, just because we're the wealthier minorities in this part of the city doesn't mean every time somebody comes over and asks for stuff, we should just give it to them, because that's what we're being known for. Oh, I know her family got it. Let me just ask them. No, get out of my face. Just, I'm about to be inappropriate. Let me get out of here. Yeah, all over the place. Just bought a Ford Fusion 2017 for $14K. Boom, congratulations. My wife and I purchased a 2011 Toyota Highlander 2 months ago for $8,000. Come on, man. You already know. Ooh, I make 75 and my car is 58. Girl, stop playing. Car note is 166 a month. Get out of town with all that debt. Paying $30K for AC and heat. Exactly, especially if they have bad interest rates. Debt alone, put somebody in poverty. Yeah. They better head to the local auction. If you can't pay cash, you don't need it. Pickup trucks are high now. I'm telling you, it's like old pickup trucks. You have to go back. They always say this. I work hard. I deserve it. Eric, I can't believe you said that. The priorities. People with no car in your passion sheet will have the nerve to make comments about your budget car saying you should have bought better. If I were you, I would have bought this. I remember saying when you're about 300,000. Heck, we had two influencers when they made 300,000. One dude bought a Toyota. The other dude bought a Range Rover. The dude who bought the Toyota bought a house in Atlanta. And the other people were like, oh, I wouldn't have bought over there. I wouldn't have did this and that. Now the dude that bought the cheaper car in the house in Atlanta, he's on his third house in Atlanta. Y'all got to stop. The dude with the Range Rover is still in an apartment in Atlanta. So you do with that what you will. My brother crashed his Camry and took the insurance money, bought another Camry for $12K. He was up. He winning. Pickup truck are the new golden handcuffs. I'm telling you, I will only pay $33,000 for a Chevy Z71. If it's more than that, I can't get it. You have to put a budget on yourself. This is the problem. This is the problem. A lot of people, what's happening is they are refusing to acknowledge they need a budget. Even wealthy people have a budget, y'all. Even wealthy people. I'm just letting y'all know. All right, let me play a little bit more and get up out of here.
So this person who puts $200 a month into insurance and they pay 5% into their 401k, because shut up, people should be able to put money into their retirement. Because if you're not doing it now, you're never going to get to start doing it later. So after those two things come out of their paycheck and their taxes are paid, they bring home $53,850 a year from a $75,000 paycheck. Average rent in my state for a one-bedroom apartment, because an adult should be able to live by themselves, $1,700. That car payment at 6% for an entry-level, very reasonable sedan, nothing fancy. Car payment's $579 a month. Car insurance, $240 or so a month for a lot of vehicles in this day and age. You're a young person, you've got a nice job, but the insurance companies still want to screw you over. Food. You only cook at home. You never, ever go out. You only cook at home and you only eat decent quality food, because a human being should be allowed to eat decent quality food. You pay $879 a month for that. You spend $250 a month in gas. You wear and tear on your car $100 a month. $80 for your food.
Listen, I'm so tired of the wear and tear conversation. I wear and tear on my car. There's wear and tear on my car. You guys are driving it. It's a fucking car. It's wear and tear. I have to pay for an oil change. Wear and tear on my car. I'm telling y'all, when I went to go buy 4 new tires, they were like, ma'am, are you sure? You have financing. You could just buy 2 tires and come back for the other 2. I'm like, man, get your ass on. I ended up buying 3 tires because the 4th tire really wasn't that bad. But I'm getting ready to go again and be like, do I need to change all the tires right now? I'm getting ready to do a bunch of road trip for the summer and be gone out of town. Like, I need to know now. But you have to understand, a lot of these people are in delulu, and they believe because they get up and they drive to work that they're allowed to have new stuff. I'm telling you, I used to be with somebody who literally, they had all this debt to the point their mother was managing their bills to keep the creditors off their back. They paid off their car, and I'm like, man, oh my God, you should be great. Now you can start saving for your retirement. You can start doing this and that. He's like, oh no, I'm gonna buy a motorcycle now. I knew right then and there, this person was never in the day in their life going to do more than what they were currently doing. And I had to get away from their ass. I was like, the deuces. Okay. Man, if you get a Honda or Toyota, you can put 250 miles on that, man. Yeah. It's really crazy. I literally just had to refuse. My sister wanted me to co-sign on her 20K car, makes 19 an hour. I told her, let's get a cash car. She got mad at me. I know she can't afford the note. Man, listen, I'd be like, hey, you want to go to the auction? I got $1,000 if you want to go to the auction. And here's the crazy part. There was a man who used to sell cars around the corner from where my mom is right now. And he would sell a car and it'd be like a salvage title. And he's like, well, it's a salvage title. You're not going to be able to trade it in for a car. And he's like, do you know how many people would come over here to give me $1,000 for this car just so they go trade it to a dealership for a newer car? And the car looked great. It had a salvage title, no lie, but it looked great. Like, you couldn't tell it had been in a bad wreck. The man was a really good mechanic who did really good body work his whole life, and so he would get cars from different accidents and everything. He would fix them, and he'd be like, hey, it's a salvage car. It's good for a student, college student, a student driving back for the college or going to school or going to work. But people were literally talking to him like, can we trade it in? He's like, no, it's a salvage title. He's like, I can't trade it in for another car. That's what they would call him for all the time. It was crazy. But that's how people are. They're in denial about they're in poverty because they don't have no assets. Not because, again, you making $100K a year means nothing. If you break your leg, you break your arm, and you don't make that money next year, guess what? You're back down. Like, again, it's cool. Anyway, let me keep it moving.
$80 for your internet, $175 a month for your electricity, $70 for your water, $20 for your cash. You make 75 grand a year, and outside of a car payment, you have zero debt. Do you know how much money you have left over annually at a $75,000 wage? You do nothing. You don't own a Netflix. You don't go out on a date. You don't pay to go to a park. You don't go watch a movie. You do nothing. If you can't find it on the internet for free, you don't get to do it. If you can't cook it at home for your $800, you don't get to do it. You have $3,700 left over annually. That's like $320 a month. And there's going to be, well, dog's $300. Shut up. Shut your stupid, contrarian, edgelord mouth.
So instead of having just $300 a month, you could not get a car that requires a payment and have an extra $500 to $1,000 a month in your pocket. So you went from $300 to $800 to $1,300 a month extra in your pocket, making $75K a year. Come on, man. Again, everybody always talks about bringing a mechanic. A lot of auctions it's just not that serious. It's not. Some of the auctions I've been to, $500, $900 car. Guess what? You get a $900 car, you go to the auction, you take it to a mechanic, it says it needs $5K and fix. So what? If it says it needs $2K and fixing, so what? Let's say it needs $1,000 and fixing. So that means you put $1,500 into the car. Right? Let's say you go to the auction, you get it for $500. You come home, the mechanic says, man, it needs $10K in work. Guess what you do? Take it right back to the auction and get rid of it. And you didn't lose nothing but $500. That's all. I just want to make that clear. I bought my car in 2017, paid off 2020. I'm not getting a new car in 2027. I'm over 200K on my 23 grand Marquise. I just want y'all to understand that. I knew a girl that co-signed with her friend for a car 21%. And this is where there's nobody having real conversations with her, and she don't have no family that love her. I live in Southern California. Tax and insurance are ridiculous high. Why in the hell would I buy another car? Exactly. Let me let this guy finish crying because he's too old with all that gray in his beard to be crying about money like this. But anyway, let's keep moving.
That's not a doctor bill, because God knows just because we have insurance doesn't mean that we don't still pay far out the ass when we go to the doctors. People like to be entertained. They want to date. They want to. There's those of you out there that will tell somebody living like this on $75,000 a year before taxes that they are not doing what they're supposed to do, that they should get a second job, that they should get a side hustle, that they should get a better job. And the fact that you would look at somebody with no debt other than a car and say something like this to them means objectively you're a moron and you live in a fantasy world. This is unsustainable.
You got to love a little refreshing honesty, and that's exactly what this is. Listen, this isn't doom and gloom. This is just reality. It's what it is. $75,000 a year is nothing.
Again, tell that to the immigrants coming across the border who are paying coyotes, paying multiple people to get here. Like, I'm literally watched a girl from Peru crying because they caught her. They were going to send her back. And she's like, I got a $20K loan, a $25,000 loan to get here safely. Because let's just go there. She's a woman. And you already know what that means. They're very violent. Okay. Towards women and children. So she paid to get with some very nice paperwork, get across the border, get here safe. She was only in America for like a month and some change. And she just was already working 2 jobs. That's how long she'd been here, a month and a half, right? Already got 2 jobs. And she was like, I gotta stay in America because my parents are old and can't work. And I need this money and I can never make enough money to take care of my parents in Peru. You got to realize they're taking out loans in their countries to get here. Every time y'all get online, you're like, Black people and Asian people and Africans, they send in the best and the brightest and their families, paying out of the pocket. No, they're taking loans. They're taking loan shark loans to get here. Loan shark loans to be here. And we out here, oh, I make $75K and I can't have a Dodge Charger. Okay. These are the people you compete with. I just want you to realize that these are the people you competing with. They ain't the brightest. Right. And I've watched a ton of his stuff, y'all. But listen to what he says, because y'all send me so much of his. I really appreciate it. I get it. If you listen to what he says, he used to be in the military. He traveled overseas for a few months, not long. Right. But enough of his money could take him out there. He lives in a cheap, smaller town. He came home because he knocked up a girl from overseas, brought her with him, married her. Went to work at Amazon, hated it, went to work at a different place now. He is okay with it. His YouTube is what's going to pay him freedom. This YouTube channel is what's going to free him. Okay? So I get it. They're like, but he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth from somebody who's making under $70K a year and don't own their own house. He owns a house in the Midwest in a cheap location. Okay? He's like, I can't wait to get out of America. No, you can't. Don't lie. That woman that you brought to America, she's not leaving America. She came here to get the American dream, and you're going to give it to her. Okay? So let's knock this off. Let me go to this one. This is the next one. Okay, let me show you this tab. Because no, not this one. Let me go to this one. Is it this one or this one? Oh, nope, it's this one. All right, let me go ahead and show you this because I want to laugh a little bit. I am a sinner. I'm probably gonna sin again. Where's it at? Okay. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Listen, friend of the channel. We support him. This ain't no knock. This is just me getting a good laugh. I already know what time it is. Can y'all see the screen? You know what I'm saying? Mr. Orlando. Congratulations to his big numbers. I'm saluting to all of them. Okay. All right, here we go. 900 foreclosures in Irving, Texas. Now, what is Irving, Texas? Let's have a conversation. Does anybody know what Irving, Texas is? Anybody know where Irving, Texas is and the demographics that make up Irving? I'm going to give y'all a second. I'm going to give y'all 30 seconds. Do anybody know where Irving, Texas is and the demographics of Irving, Texas? I want y'all to, I'm going to go there for a second. Okay. Irving, Texas. Okay. Has a population. Okay, it's northwest of Dallas. Who lives in Irving? Who lives in Irving? Let's go there. Who lives in Irving? The 5 largest ethnic groups in Irving are Asian, 22%, non-white Hispanics, or white non-Hispanics, 18%. White, Hispanic, another 18%. Hispanic, period. And then Black, 12%. So it's very, 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 there you go. Thank you. It's mostly Indians. It's Mexicans. It's some Black people over there. Yep, about 10 minutes away from there. Mostly Hispanics and Indians. Okay. Mostly. All right. Let's just for everybody, let's have that moment. You know what? Will Wardrobe, I'm gonna hit your super chat. I didn't forget about you. I apologize about the St. Louis thing. I'm gonna get there. Because I was gonna tell you about the immigrants. Okay. So let's play a little bit of this. Let's play a little bit. And again, we're not knocking them. It's full of working people, very much so. Thank you. That's what I want. That's what the keyword I'm looking for. Go ahead.
Those are all brand new foreclosures that just came in. I just got almost 900. Irving, I hope I'm saying that right. You can see Dallas Fort Worth Airport is all up there. Dallas, downtown Dallas is here. Up at the very top, there is Denton. So this is in between Denton, the airport, and Dallas, for those of you who know that area. But a lot of you ask how the other markets are doing. Some of them are doing worse. I thought my market was bad. That's 900.
All right, let's dissect that. And no, Dr. Orlando, I know what he gonna do. Okay, 70% of the residents in Irving are U.S. citizens, so 30% aren't even U.S. citizens. Let's start there. The median age of that population is 32 years old. And the median household is what? 79,000. Isn't that something? We just said in another video that 75,000 is poverty wages, but these people in Irving, the median income and house ownership is 79,000. Ain't that something? So 30% of these people are illegals. Okay, they're not even supposed to be here. Now again, all right, let's keep it pushing. Okay, the largest university is there's an institute over there. There's University of Dallas over there. There's Aviation Institute. Again, what is that for? Maintenance of planes. All right. Most people drive to work in Irving 24 minutes. The average 2-car ownership in Irving. Average house has 2 cars. Okay, now let's just go there. It takes 3 years for a foreclosure to go through. It sure does. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. It takes 3 years. Jasper said you can't buy 5 of them, you can't afford it. You already know. Equals Grand Prix, but a bit more cat. Let's just go there. Okay. This area, even if you say they have 900 foreclosures, it don't matter. It takes 3 years for a foreclosure to go through. And I know y'all don't even, no, Erica, no, Erica, no. It takes 3 years for a foreclosure to go through. So they're out here. Oh my God. Oh God, the foreclosures, Erica, the foreclosures. It takes 3 years. What's going to happen over the next 3 years? What's going to happen over the next 3 years? People are going to pay their bill. They're going to work through a program. They're going to do something. Why? Because Dallas Fort Worth is one of the hottest, fastest growing areas here. It just is. It just is. So I just want you to understand. What's up, Dr. Chastity? Every week somebody making a fake page on you. They said they out there trying to take your identification. Modifications. And let's do the math. A lot of these people have what? That 2%, 3%, under 4% mortgage. Come on. 900 foreclosures, but 100,000 single family homes. Come on. That's a speckle. That's a nothing. That's a nothing burger. But somebody's going to be like, oh my God, Erica, see, it is crashing. Texas is crashing. No, it's not. But I want everybody who makes money off doom and gloom, please go make your money. Go make your money. I don't want to be the person being like, oh, da, da, da. So here, let's even go here.
Housing market enters major correction phase. Say it ain't so. But it is. Home sales are dropping in several major Texas cities, including the capital, Austin, Dallas, Houston. All major cities. As home buyers burdened by historical high mortgage rates, and rising housing costs fail to see an appeal to the state's growing inventory. These guys originally told you inventory is going to be an issue. There won't be a home in the state for you to buy.
All right. Again, I put new in there. Take them out and put them back in. See what you can do. They're brand new. All right. So here's the thing. I just reported 3 pages. Going to hire my daughter to check and sweep weekly. Yeah, I mean, pretty much you got to pay. Facebook and Instagram. That's kind of how they're making it work now. Orlando is wilding. He wilding. I feel him. I hear him. But I'm just gonna tell you like this: as a person who lives in Austin, Texas, and the properties were $500,000 at the craziest. They've come down to 430, 420. Somebody's gonna be like, yeah, see, they're lowered. Okay, but baby, I was here when they were 220. So until they get back to 220, most everyone I know is sitting around with $200,000, $300,000 in equity. And most of the people coming to buy their houses from out of town. Again, last year, Austin, Texas, 60% of home buyers were foreign buyers. That means they just moved to Texas. Right? Right? They just want to come in. All right. Again, that's not true. A little Texas wide open problem is everyone wants to live in the same area. There you go. The southern part's cheap. 40 minutes outside of Houston, Tomball, they're going for $200,000 houses. You know what I mean? Like, Oli, listen, no slander here. We love him. Orlando is slightly more tolerable to listen to since it's at least a black family making that YouTube clickbait money. Lately has been holding his audience accountable for the decisions too. Yeah. I mean, I'm still meeting people who literally have what do you call them? Adjustable mortgages. And I'm like, who put you in that? You should go beat them up. Who put you in that? That don't make no sense. Okay. So again, I just want you guys to understand, like, I salute all the channels that are growing and making the money. I want you to. I really do. But I just want you to understand, like, if we take a minute to dissect the numbers, it's pop cocky. It's pop cocky. Okay. So again, I have friends who are sitting there on $200,000, $300,000 equity. There's a lot of influencers in Texas sitting on big money. I still could go build a spec home for $139 in Texas and sell it for $340. Let's say I'm feeling tough. Times are tough and I'm low on money. I'm gonna sell it for $280. Guess what I walked away with? $280 minus $130 is what? Still made some money. Okay, so I just want y'all to understand this is part of why we teach the land grab course. This is part of why we teach about creating your own money, creating your own wealth. This is why we teach about digital real estate. Okay, hands and feet, baby, hands and feet. This is why we teach about digital real estate, how you create your own opportunities, you create wealth. Wealth is moving around the whole state of Texas and Florida and all these places. People are like, oh, the houses. You're like, stop. You don't need a GC in Texas or Oklahoma to build. Exactly. This is why I keep telling y'all, people come to Texas. There's a mother and daughter in Dallas. They have made millions of dollars by being inspectors and doing a rating system in Dallas. It's a mother and daughter. They're blonde. You'll see them on the news. This is where that old, you gonna come kiss my butt. You gonna come to my gala. You're gonna put money in the golf tournaments. You gonna come talk to me. You want your houses to be rated good with me? Yeah, come over here. This is why when they be like, Erica, I don't know about Texas. Oh, I wouldn't do it if I were you. I'm like, I don't have to be a GC. North Carolina has a system for GCs. And if you don't have a bunch of money and net worth, you can't be nothing but a limited GC. Why is that? Who do you think doesn't have a lot of net worth? Black and Latinos. So you're gonna say, well, Erica, that's their problem. That's not racism. That's their problem that they don't have their net worth together. Again, we're not teaching Black and Latino people, which the Latino people already know what time it is. Go buy some trucks, go buy some land, go buy a house, keep it moving. Turn that TV down a little bit. Good gracious. I mean, I'm trying to finish a show here. Okay. And so the thing is, if you're in these other states and you want to build houses and you're a quality builder, you're a great guy. If you don't own like 10 rentals, if you don't own a bunch of other property and equipment, then guess what? You don't get to do what? Build. You don't get to have a business. But in Texas, in Oklahoma, come on down. All right? So I just want you to understand that's what's fueling all this building. Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving. Exactly, Santos Clutch. So again, we were like, oh, they had to lower the prices of the house. Man, I know the people. They built it for $130. They built it for nothing. Pennies on the dollar. Okay. Now you're going to say, well, that's not fair. They need to sell it for cheap. Okay. Again, people have to have an incentive to go out and be bothered with a bunch of contractors for 6 months, 8 months and sell you a house. Got to give people risk reward. That's all. I just bought a lot and thought I could subdivide in Dallas. Always speak to chief planner. Allen's best. Listen, I'm real sorry about that. See if they'll let you rezone to a multifamily. If they won't let you rezone, say go find a friend. Go find a friend who's been rezoning in that area and try again. Because what happens is they rezone for who they want to. Enough petitioning, they rezone. Okay. Let me go to this other one. This is also, let me show you this. They're like, there's 300,000 evictions coming. Now, guess what happens when, let's say we have a ton of evictions. I just told y'all the show the other day. When I worked in apartment management, I told y'all that we would have engineers who were making $150K a year. And the manager would be like, well, we're going to honor the eviction of the other place. Guess what? When the economy's tight, guess what what people going to do? How much you make? Give me an extra month. Okay. Give me an extra month. You like your chicken salad sandwich? Did you toast your bread?
I lost my job. I lost my grandma, and I had to move back in with my mama, back in my hometown. So not only am I living with my mama, but I'm back where I was 5 years ago.
Mass eviction filings are
Come on, sis. Let's take some accountability. If 5 years went by, you lost your grandma, I lost my grandpa. It's devastating. But I am being financially compensated for his passing because he set himself up properly. And you're leaving where you were living, and you had to move back in with your mama. Where do we take the accountability at? I'm really sorry about her grandma. I really am. But I just want, am I being too insensitive? Y'all can let me know in the chat. Y'all can be like, Erica, that's too far. No. But when people do these videos and you ask them in the comments, what's happened in 5 years? Did you get a degree? Did you get a certification? Did you get a higher paying job? Did you get a new car? Like we should ask her that. Did you get a new car? So let's tell the truth. Don't blame grandma's death. It's devastating, but you still could go work. Were you coming home to take care of grandma? That's a whole nother conversation. If so, then yeah, we want to give her some grace. But at the end of the day, I know a lot of these people giving you these sob stories, and we're not accounting for the vacations, the cars. It's a long time to still be in the same place financially. It's a long time. Gotta take it. You know, some accountability, just a little bit. All right, let's hit it.
surging across the nation with monthly stats. The first thing I want to do is start with a quick abstract on what's going on with evictions. The eviction lab at Princeton University has collected.
So let's just stop. Pause. Okay. There were 3.6 million eviction cases filed in the United States each year. So eventually what happens is some people work it out. The landlord takes it back. Okay, I'm gonna come. Nah, they change, they pay their bill. So really only 1.5 million go through annually. So to have 300,000, let's just go there. That's not a lot. But let's keep it going.
Think about that. Preliminary analysis, eviction filing patterns in 2024. The days of emergency rental assistance and eviction protections are long gone. These programs got the United States to historically low levels of housing displacement during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, our data shows that landlords are filing evictions at nearly the same levels as before 2020. In some concerning cases like Phoenix, Las Vegas, and my hometown of Houston, landlords.
Now, come on. Phoenix, Las Vegas, Houston. What do y'all think when we say Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Houston? Let's go there. Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Houston. We know what's going on in Phoenix. Those are cities where people are moving with low skill. There are cities people are moving. They're doing a lot of transient moving. Let's go there. There's a lot of vice there in Las Vegas. Phoenix, a lot of people from California are just escaping. Now, if they need to, they go back to California. Okay. All right. They just go right back. Right. People move somewhere, don't know if they moved as couples. We don't know all the details. Right. And so what happens is we're allowing these people to be like, oh, it's crazy. It's high. Nah, not really. Not really. Just want to clarify. But let me play a little bit more and I'm going to get out of here.
Landlords are evicting many more tenants than ever before. Landlords filed just over 1 million eviction cases in 2024 in the jurisdictions that they track. So those are just the ones they track. Overall, it's 3.6. They're saying that's a small drop compared to 2023 and roughly 7% fewer cases filed than the typical pre-pandemic year. So it sounds like, oh, then maybe they're not skyrocketing, right? Wrong because of this. However, It's noticeable that the reduction in eviction filings is driven by just one site. Somehow, New York City. If we remove New York City, the city with the largest rental population in the country, eviction filings were 3% above historical.
Pause right there. So if we take New York out the equation, guess what? Everything he just said was what? BS. It's the same, it's just 3% higher. That's the key to all that he just said. Like, and most people will get lost in that part where he just told on himself, yeah, you take out New York and it's just 3% higher of the whole nation. Okay, then it's not that bad. I'm just being honest. The transient in Phoenix are the best survivalists I've ever seen. Now, I don't know what that means, but I feel you. Tell me more. Okay. Accountability is very important. Very important. These people going to their 40s and 30s talking about they blaming their grandma died. Come on, man. Knock it off. Anyway, let me get past here. Right about here. Here we go. Boom.
Or 51.
Now look at these cities. Albuquerque, Greenville, South Bend, Memphis, Jacksonville, Indianapolis. You already know what I think about there. Kansas City, Bridgeport, Connecticut. You know what I think about it. St. Louis, Columbus, Cincinnati. Come on. Y'all know what I think about these places. You know what's going on in these cities. Let's not act like the whole country's falling apart because they battling out of Albuquerque where it's a high student population. It's nothing there but a university and transients. Let's keep it pushing.
1.6% in Albuquerque. Number 3 is South Bend at 50.7%. Number 4 right here is Memphis at 38.1%. Jacksonville at 34%. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. Houston's down over here. Look at that.
Look at Houston. All the way to the lowest city is Houston. So this man trying to convince you that the world is falling apart and Houston's actually the lowest. We need to ask what's going on in Greenville. We need to ask what's going on in Albuquerque. What's going on in South Bend, Connecticut? Like, we need to ask the real questions, okay? This is the stuff that cracks me up because if you really listen to the data is not you can't support what they're saying. Okay. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
15.5% for Houston. For renters in Phoenix, Las Vegas, and my hometown of Houston, housing is less stable now than it was before the pandemic. But I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say every metro area is less stable than before the pandemic. Mitch, you have a ton of experience in dealing with commercial multifamily. You know the investors. People reach out to you for help and analysis all the time when it comes to commercial multifamily. And I want to start by listening to a video that was released last month in April about what exactly is going on in Houston. Literally, where I live right now, it's so bad. Well, take a listen.
Increases across Houston are forcing more tenants out of their homes. Many of them are seniors and people with disabilities who are on fixed incomes.
Rochelle Turner joins us live in the newsroom with more on this growing crisis.
Haley and Amy, good morning to you. Last month alone, Houston landlords filed 3 times as many evictions as those in New York City. So we know how big New York City is. Despite New York's population being 3 times larger, some of those evicted have nowhere to go, pushing them to live on the streets. So we've been.
Now, Eviction Lab.
Now look at this. Look at New York. New York's got 36,000. Indianapolis, 11,000. Houston, 11,000. Philadelphia, PA, 10,000. San Antonio, 9,000. Charlotte, North Carolina, 9,000. Columbus, Ohio, 9,000. Again, what do these cities have in common? Y'all know where I'm trying to go with this, but I'm going to be nice. I'm going to back up out of there because y'all know what I want to say, but I ain't going to say it. What is going on in Greenville? You know what I'm saying? What's going on over there? These people are crazy. They're 30 years old and they have their grandmothers working to take care of them. Come on, man. How are they saying all that with a straight face? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, read the data. I'm not moving back to Memphis. Nope. I'll work my butt off and get off mainly. Listen, you already know. The apartments are just not taking programs like before. Only the ugly apartment campuses are boarded up. I'm telling you, it's been terrible. All the places Erica think are bad investments, places where nothing is happening, zombie cities. You already know. Now, other than Houston, San Antonio is where people land because they just can't afford Austin or Dallas or Houston. They like, oh shit, I'll just go to San Antonio. Somewhere I can stay somewhere there. She said lies. I own several homes in Vegas and trust I'm not losing money. Equity looking good. Yeah. You know what it is. This is just fear mongering stuff they gonna do. But let me let it play.
Is off. And I'm going to say that right now. There's obviously, it's saying there's 3 times more filings in Houston than New York City. Filings number 6 is
Now look how they go down. Jacksonville, Chicago, Detroit. Come on.
822. When we look at the actual
Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of there because I might say something ugly. All right, so what do we learn from all this, y'all? Because y'all gonna be like, oh, why are you showing us this, Erica? How are people gonna get out of poverty? Listen, I'm not doing it with you, Santos, because some of them cities got regular inside hand fatigue. Okay, lots of fatigue there. Just fatigue with the meth heads, the pill people, all of them. Okay, we get tired of it. Okay, but that is funny. I've been seeing those fatigue stuff, and I've been like, why are y'all watching hours and hours of content of people y'all don't be around, y'all don't live around? Like, it's really weird. I'm starting to see a lot of African videos in the Facebook algorithms of like African people doing crazy stuff, or people, the Africans in Europe, the Muslims in Europe doing stuff. And I'll be like, they be like, black people. I'll be like, wait a minute, these aren't Americans. This is in Europe. This is in Africa. This is in Brazil. I'm just telling you, the fatigue is real on all levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are y'all watching hours of videos? It's just like the black man online every day telling you about Keisha. You don't date Keisha's, you date Tiffany's. Why are you talking about Keisha every day? It's weird. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. This is why I'm telling y'all, like, it's getting kind of it's getting kind of weird out here. RG3 talking about Keisha all the time. He don't even talk to Keisha in public if he ain't got to. It's weird. It's real weird, y'all. Stop it. Knock it off. Let me see if I have the other clip. If I don't, then I'm up out of here. Yeah, the Nollywood stuff is kind of funny. Some of it is. There's a great guy who I'm hoping to interview here soon, if he'll let me. Black guy, did 20 years in the military, invested in a bunch of franchises. I really want to get him on the phone and for an interview, but if we can, it'd be great. If we can't, it's gonna be what it be, y'all. Let me see. Do I have it? Dang, I don't got it. Okay, well, I don't have the other clip. That's what I'm telling you. Even teachers in Houston making 90K. That's why, and they be like, it's not enough. I mean, the kids are bad for sure, but it's real weird. Oh no, here it is. I found it. Xanatos, I can't. They're gonna get on me if I say anything. I gotta be quiet. I can't say what I want to say. Oh, this is my last video. This is the one. And we're gonna wrap up out here. Sorry, this is so late and so long. Okay, here it is. I found it. Here it is. Yeah, you know what I mean? Thank you, Jay Way. That's perfect. I keep saying we're all fighting a straw man that algorithm is constantly presenting to you. And your emotions aren't smart enough to distinguish between content on your phone and real life. Yeah, it's getting real weird. Trying to be like, get like O'Shea run to Africa, but they ain't got no gas. Come on, man. It's real weird out here. So this is one of the best breakdowns. It's a book called Why Do Men Rebel? This is important. This is where the rise of, what do you call it? The Tate brothers. That's the best way to say it. The rise of the Tate brothers, of like people seeing people do well and being jelly online. Let me see if I can play a little bit of it.
Called Why Men Rebel, which goes into the fact that people's social resentment towards the upper class is a driver of revolution. It even goes back to more traditional Marxist ideas. But when empirically this idea is put up to test, you actually get a much different conclusion. And there's a recent study that came out just the 30th of May, 2022 by the Journal of Conflict Resolution. And what they said, there's academics Florian van Leeuwen from the Netherlands and Henrikas Bartjevicus from Oslo published this paper that basically debunks the idea that income inequality is the driver of political violence. It's actually poor economic prospects and opportunity that are the driver of political violence and social unrest, not inequality. And this makes intuitive sense to me, because if you are a young, ambitious person and there's somebody who's richer than you, why should that bother you if you have the opportunity to become rich yourself, whether through an entrepreneurial venture, moving up the corporate ladder, shrewd investing, or however you plan to pursue to do that in a legal and ethical way? The thing that would really create tension is if there is a lack of opportunity to advance. So it's social and economic mobility, which is the primary driver of stability versus income inequality. And that's why you see in a lot of countries where, such as the former communist bloc in Eastern Europe, had a lot of political tension, even though everybody in theory was, and I make sure to emphasize in theory here, was equal. The fact that people could not advance on their own merit is what caused a lot of social distrust and anger and required violence to enforce that system.
Whew, okay, he be reading a little slow for me, and I'd be having to speed it up. Whew. Okay, welcome, Yoga. Yes. Okay, so it's people feeling like they can't move up, which is upsetting to them. Let me get to this. Let me skip it ahead.
The countries that have the most legal polygamy are same as the countries with the most violence. And that makes sense, except if it's the same argument made by the poor prospects, not inequality paper.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all remember when they stole 219 girls from a school in Nigeria, and they took them across the border, and they got them. They basically married all the girls off. Why? Because they were in an area where the Nigerian girls they stole were Christians, and they were Islamic, and there was not an equal number. Y'all know how that can be in some of those places. And so multiple theories prove this. More monogamy makes the world less violent. When people feel like they have an opportunity to start their own families, less violent. Let's just go there. You can see this map right here. What happened after Arab Spring? Again, why are Europe being flooded with minority men from these countries? Again, government was overthrown, right? It's the green, Tunisia, okay? This lighter green is Egypt. Government was overthrown and the new government is still developing. Also, what were they missing in Egypt? Unleavened bread and sugar was one of the big things that made them well out. Government was not overthrown, but changes were made. Algeria, Morocco, you already know what time it is. Fighting a civil war, Libya, they also kidnapping people and selling them. Protests were stopped, no major changes made. Again, Saudi Arabia, they ain't never changed. Okay, they ain't got time. Bahrain, Kuwait, you already know what time it is. Okay, so let's scoop on out of there. This right here. This is what America looks like. Right, we got a lot of people in this. The middle is very little, right? Everybody's really down here. But there's an opportunity here to go up. So you have less angry folks because they believe, right? And Dog said he got more violent. I love seeing the videos of the dads. Now they're all doing boxing and wrestling like they're going to fight a person. Knowing somebody come in their house, they're going to pew, pew, pew and keep it moving. Okay. That's just my thought. But let me keep it pushing. Because many people just want someone else's success, not their own. Ooh, that's interesting, Jim. So I just want to show you this again. This goes within everything we've been talking about on this channel. We've been going over. This isn't just an American thing. This is it's the real. The real is I need food and women's. And it's not fair that I don't get a women's. Now, I've heard some of the arguments and I get it. Some of them, that isn't fair. You could be a slug and still get somebody, right? That is a real thing. You could have been a slug and somebody was still picked up you and been like, all right, well, I'll go ahead. I'll take this guy. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he still got somebody. We're in a society where, no, they don't have to do that. They don't have to put up with that. You can go stay at your mama. Okay. So let me show you this, and just to show you that it's not just America. It's happening everywhere when people get upset. This is Spain. Spain orders Airbnb to remove nearly 66,000 rentals from the country. Again, the monthly rent in Spain was going on like $150 a month to $300 a month. And I'm talking about American dollars. And so all of a sudden, these Americans who were, I need a break. And these British people who were like, I need a break from Britain and England, they were kind of flooding the market and renting places for 6 months at a time. And who would turn down like $400 to $500 American dollars a month paid in advance? Do you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't, but that made it what? Rough on what? A lot of Spanish people who don't have jobs and they're depending on what? Tourism for work. So again, it's all this go home gringo that's going on in Mexico, going on in Spain, going on in Puerto Rico, but without the gringos, you would not have work. So that's the craziestness of this. It's really crazy. Also, this other page, I want y'all to know, I keep pulling these up. It's called Immigrant of America. And every story is somebody who's come and literally just started a thing and it took off. And they do the same thing as everybody else. They start a thing and all they do, Kind Bar, we talked about the gym guy. This was Forever 21. They fell down lately, but again, you can go through every single one of these. It's very simple, basic stuff sometimes. And they just put money to it, right? Put advertising to it. I'm not trying to be funny, but if you just DoorDash, all these people that came in starting things, just got to realize who's starting it. And people get mad. Erica, stop bringing up immigrants, but I'm like, who's actively trying to create something? That's who gets the American dream. So, all right, you guys, let's get on out of here. They want to states. I can't read that out loud. I'm gonna get in trouble. But y'all see it on the screen. Y'all know what time it is. You know how people are acting out here. This is your girl, Erica, Classic Line Blog. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We love all the comments, like, shares. If you're in the land grab course, check out for some of the new videos tomorrow afternoon. Should finish that out. And you guys, this is your girl, Erica, Classic Line Blog. Have a great night.